Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Southwest Jefferson County. Welcome to some brand new tennis courts that I'm very excited to talk about some of the wonderful improvements we've been making to our entire park system here in Southwest Louisville, but also all around the entire city. We're going to get to that shortly because I first want to start with a couple of very timely matters related to public safety and public health. And first, I want to acknowledge the heartbreaking and senseless acts of violence that took place in Lexington over the weekend. We certainly are not immune to that here in Louisville. We had some that just happened last night. But in Lexington, our hearts are with the families of the victims at the Richmond Road Baptist Church and everyone else that was injured. And I want to send my best to all the Kentucky State Police and particularly the trooper that was injured, and send my prayers and thoughts to him for a speedy and full recovery. The type of violence that we saw that took place in Lexington, that we see that take place last night in our city, has no place in Louisville, in Lexington, anywhere in Kentucky or this country. And we here in Louisville will continue to do everything that we can to end gun violence. I'm proud that we just had an arrest this morning in the homicide of Tasha White. LMPD, our entire team, will be working every day to end gun violence in so many ways and to hold individuals responsible who commit these heinous crimes. I also want to give an update on the situation that occurred at the Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center on Sunday. I know that was a very scary moment for many of the young women who are playing in what is the world's largest basketball tournament. Before we get into what happened, just to set the stage, each year in Louisville, the Run for the Roses tournament is the world's largest basketball tournament, played at Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center this year with 83 basketball courts under one roof. For the entire event, 2,600 teams. It is an amazing sight to see. I was thrilled to be out there yesterday. And what happened on Sunday was very unfortunate. I know it was a very scary moment. It's a very scary time for families that were there and families that were at Kentucky Kingdom. I'm very grateful that no shots were fired and that everyone is safe. And I want to give a giant thanks to LMPD, to all of the staff at Kentucky venues. David Beck and his team did a wonderful job responding to the tournament organizers and everyone. And I'm glad that yesterday we were able to get the Run for the Roses tournament back up and running so that it can end on a very high note. And the action that was happening yesterday was wonderful. So I know there's been a lot of information and rumors out there about what may or may not have happened. I want to provide you with information on what we know did happen. A loud alarm went off in part of the area of this tournament as a result of a malfunction in a smoke detector system at Kentucky venues. As this alarm was going off, one or two people first yelled something about there being shots fired and were running through the courts and the crowd towards the exit. That led to an understandable panic among many people who were at the tournament. The basketball courts are spread out throughout Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center, back to back, with lots of people watching these women play basketball. So that led to panic. During this mass evacuation, calls to 911 were made. We received 72 calls in just a few minutes to the 911 call center. LMPD responded quickly and with full force, given the reports of the active shooter. But I can tell you all that there was no active shooter. There is no evidence a gun was ever shot. There are no suspects that may have shot a gun. No one was harmed. There is no damage that took place within the Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center. There was no tile that fell from the ceiling. There was no one that was injured. So I am very thankful for the fast and swift response. It is unfortunate that this event happened here. It's happened more in recent years across the country at various events. But the good news is that nobody was injured. There was not an active shooter. And I thank the Run for the Roses tournament for their swift response, for adding metal and weapons detectors, for doing bag searches so that the tournament can end with everyone feeling safe. I think that was a very prudent decision and really should be standard operating procedure for large events that we see in our city or anywhere in America today. So that is an update which I hope is helpful, that is providing actual facts on what occurred at the Fair and Exposition Center. And finally, before we get to the good news that we're excited to share about this tennis courts and lots of investments in parks we're making around the city, I also want to call up Connie Mendel and Patrick Rich, two colleagues of mine from the Public Health Department, to talk about two matters of importance regarding public health. First, I want the community to know that we have our first confirmed case of measles in Louisville, Jefferson County. It is a pediatric case. This individual recently traveled international, had some international travel with his family to a country that is known to have an outbreak of measles. And public health is in the process of doing contact tracing to advise people who may have been in contact with this individual. Public health will tell those that they connect with through the contact tracing what to do, but there is a group of people who we will be asking to isolate. And the reason for that is that measles is an incredibly highly contagious virus. And measles spreads through the air when people cough, sneeze, or even breathe. Measles can be incredibly dangerous. Some people who become sick with measles can get a serious lung infection, such as pneumonia, or many other issues. Measles, again, is one of the most contagious diseases that we're aware of, and it's transmitted through the air. America had thought measles had been eliminated in 2000, which meant that the virus was no longer continuously spreading. And the reason for this is because a very high percentage of Americans had received the MMR vaccine, or the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine. And that allowed for community immunity. However, in recent years across America, the number of children who are getting the MMR vaccine has declined. And global activity, including here in the U.S. and in Kentucky, is now increasing. I would encourage everyone that has a child to get your full doses of the MMR vaccine. That is proven as the way to prevent measles for your family, for your children, and for others as well. JCPS offers ways to get vaccines. Public Health Department can point you in the right direction as to how you can get vaccine, but please get vaccinated. So again, in 2000, we thought measles was eliminated in America. In the last 20 years, there were only 8 cases of measles in Kentucky. And now in Kentucky, we have 12 active cases. Only one here in Jefferson County that is not related to the other 12 that are elsewhere in Kentucky. And of those 12 individuals that are confirmed to have measles in Kentucky, 11 are unvaccinated and one only received one of the 2 doses in the MMR vaccine. So again, please make sure that your kids are vaccinated with the MMR vaccine to prevent measles. And if you are contacted by the Public Health Department that you may have come into contact with this juvenile that does have a confirmed case of measles, Public Health will advise you with what to do. I'm now going to ask Connie Mendel from our Public Health Department to talk a little bit more about this situation. Connie?
Hi, good morning. Yes, as Mayor mentioned, we had not seen a case in Jefferson County for some time. This is a confirmed case, a pediatric case. Their vaccination status is unknown at this time. We're working diligently to find records, but we've not been able to confirm any vaccination. Again, this is unrelated to the other Kentucky cases. They were visiting outside of the country when likely they contracted it. So we're working with everyone in the travel group to try to identify those that may be. One of the things that's really important about measles is that you're contagious before you ever have a symptom. So a few days before you're symptomatic. And it can, those droplets of the virus from coughing, breathing, and sneezing can hang in the air for up to 2 hours. So that's why it's so contagious. And again, you don't know you're contagious because you're not having symptoms. So once symptoms begin, it's typically a very high fever, cough, sneezing, which sometimes ends up in emergency room or emergency department visits. So then we're risking, exposing other people. So if we will be contacting everyone that potentially, and it's a small group at this point, who could have been exposed. And one of the things that we want to encourage is that if through this or other interactions, if someone thinks they may have measles, you always want to call ahead of time so your medical provider can make special arrangements for you to be seen outside of the general public within a medical facility. As most of you all are aware, like pediatric offices have those well entrances and sick entrances. We would go even further, and the patient would come into a side door because it is that infectious. I cannot encourage people enough to check your immunization status. One dose provides about 93% protection from measles. 2 doses of MMR provides 97%. So it's just really important, particularly as we get ready for back to school and we're going to have children in enclosed spaces. So, please do what you can. Check your status if you're unsure or if you're unvaccinated, particularly children, catch up on those vaccinations.
Thanks, Connie. Thanks, Connie. And one other matter of public health and note that we have been providing information about on our social media channels and will continue to relates to West Nile virus. Last week, a batch of mosquitoes in a surveillance trap did test positive for West Nile virus, and in the mosquitoes, not in humans. West Nile is detected in the mosquito populations around the first week in July every year, but we still want the community to be aware. Once this happens, this prompts a response by our public health team, and so we have Patrick Rich from the public health department with us today to talk a little bit more about this, just so that the community is aware. Patrick?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. As far as we go in this city, we have a West Nile virus that is endemic to this area, so it's going to pop up every year. So we really want to promote everyone protecting themselves as much as possible. Any long sleeves, long pants when you can. If it's too hot or you're out doing sports and recreation, obviously you'll want to do a approved pesticide. Some DEET is preferred to protect yourself, to make sure you don't get any bites, which would keep you from getting the virus. As of right now, we have traps that go out to 14 static locations, which we pull from. We've got the positive from our location in the Highlands. This will be the first of many. These come every year. We handle it every year. We have a team who goes out and responds with targeted response. And then once we have that West Nile virus, we also do a fogging mission to make sure we're getting any live mosquitoes that are in the area. But because this is the first of many, we want to make sure everybody is protecting themselves, protect your children, make sure you're going out with some sort of protection on whenever you're going to be expending a large amount of time outdoors.
Thanks, Patrick. Thank you very much, Patrick. I don't normally do this, but we've got some wonderful news that we want to share with you all as well at the parks here. So let's just stop right here. If there are questions about the fairgrounds or what we just talked about on the public health matters, I'll take them here, and then we'll go through the rest of our originally scheduled press conference and take questions about that or any other unrelated topics that you all have on that. So if you have questions about the public health matters or the fairgrounds, let's just take those right now. Yeah, Eddie.
On the fact that you said there wasn't a tile that fell, can you just clarify? Because LMPD, they were the ones who had said that yesterday, so just kind of some clarity on that.
Yeah, that was not accurate information, and so the chief is aware. I'm not quite sure why that information was put out as a fact, but that did not happen. That happened at another basketball tournament years ago that the tournament organizers were talking about when they had experienced a similar situation before. So I'm not sure why that happened. I'm sorry that happened, but that is not accurate information. That did not happen here at the fairgrounds.
On the Russian shootings overnight last night, just kind of your reaction to that. There was a 8-year-old, a 13-year-old, 16-year-old, just more youth violence.
Yeah. No, last night there were several shootings in our city last night. We've made tremendous progress that I'm incredibly proud of. Homicides and shootings are down over 30% this year in Louisville. Yet any act of gun violence is one too many. And that's why, notwithstanding this progress that I'm proud of, we continue to double and triple and quadruple down on what's working and look for new ways to do even more. And we will continue to do that. And so I just want to encourage parents, know where your children are. If you have 13 and 16-year-old kids of any ages, and it's the middle of the night, hopefully they're at home in bed, but know where they are and what they're doing. Now is the summertime. We have so many wonderful things to help kids, to get kids on the right path, to give them constructive, positive things to do. Things like at our public parks, on tennis courts like this all across the community. We are building these for our kids. We have great programs. Ben is here, who oversees all of our community centers where we have great programs. Our library has a wonderful summer program in the library, outside of the library, to enrich kids with what they do. We have the Cultural Pass, which is free, that opens up lots of things. So particularly during the summer, there are so many things for our young kids to do, and I would encourage parents to get their kids involved with these free programs to help them on the right path in life. And please know where your kids are so that they can be safe and you don't get that call that all of us as parents dread.
Talk specifically about any programs that are working and maybe the ones that are not working regarding violence.
Sure, there's a lot that is working, and that's why you're seeing the 30% reduction in homicides, the over 30% reduction in shootings just this year alone. But again, we've got a lot more work to do. So we're going to keep investing in these programs that are targeting youth and young adults. Just yesterday, we released an RFP for a new program called Get Busy, which is going to work with nonprofit partners in the community that's targeting middle school students. Because while a lot of individuals that might be involved in gun violence are in high school, we want to connect with them before that even happens. And you saw last night a 13-year-old. So this Get Busy initiative is going to be targeting middle school students. But the programs that I just mentioned in our community centers, in our parks, in our libraries, with our cultural organizations, and then, of course, LMPD is doing a good job out there on the streets, working to make sure to prevent crime from happening in the first place, and when it does, to hold individuals accountable. And that's why, again, just this morning, I'm proud that an arrest was made in a homicide that happened just a few months ago.
I have two quick questions there. So there was no tile that failed, but can you kind of just clarify once again the relation, I guess, between the alarm that went off and then the smoke that was there?
I'm not aware of any smoke. So if someone else said that there was smoke, you need to check with them. I'm not saying there was not smoke, but I am not aware of any smoke. I am aware of a sensor malfunction in a system that is otherwise, fully certified and kept in good condition. A sensor malfunction that caused an alarm in a portion of the area to go off.
And then, what's your message to everybody the coaches and the teams and players?
This is a very unfortunate situation, and I know it was scary for everybody that was involved. When you hear and see people running and yelling that a shooter was there, everyone did what people would do, which is follow along. It's not worth taking the risk. We've seen too many incidents in our country where there was an active shooter. And so I'm happy that there was not an active shooter. This is a very unfortunate incident, but I'm glad that Kentucky Venues, working with the tournament, could quickly get the tournament back up and running yesterday morning. And it was incredibly active, with lots of amazing young women playing basketball, lots of families there. This is a wonderful event for our city. I'm excited about future years for Run for the Roses in our city. And again, it's one of those great events. We are a city that loves welcoming the world, and we're incredibly good at it. And to have the world's largest basketball tournament in the world in our city is something I'm proud of, and something that we're going to continue to work with the organizers to have here.
Mayor Greenberg, I wanted to ask about the measles. This may be a question better directed for the health department. We keep hearing about how vaccine rates in general keep going down, and there's this all-time skepticism when it comes to vaccines. What is the city or the health department doing to combat this skepticism? What can you guys do?
So Connie can ask a little bit about what we are doing, and what else can answer a little bit about what we are doing, can do. But let me just say in no uncertain terms, my strong recommendation to every parent in our city is to get your children vaccinated with the recommended vaccinations, including the MMR vaccine, which prevents measles. JCPS recommends that. The medical profession recommends that. And the evidence is obvious that it works. Of the 12 confirmed cases in Kentucky right now, 11 of those are unvaccinated, and the other one did not get the full 2-dose vaccination requirement. It is not worth taking the risk that your child gets measles. Please follow medical advice and get your children vaccinated. There are so many ways to do it in the community, including at JCPS. They will help you get vaccinated. Connie?
Yeah, as Mayor said, there are so many opportunities to be vaccinated. Most of your local pharmacies, drugstores, even grocery stores that have pharmacies offer the various small clinics, urgent cares, immediate cares. But as a health department, not only do we offer vaccines at this location, right here at Southwest Dixie, we do that by appointment. But we also, just at the first of this year, transitioned to a mobile immunization team. So we will go to large events. So we're working with community partners or small to medium events, and working with healthcare providers just to ensure that the vaccinations are readily available. And JCPS is an excellent resource for our children enrolled in any of those programs. So check out our website. There's a whole list of opportunities. And if someone's hosting a community event, please reach out to us. We're happy to provide that. Not only MMR, but the other childhood immunizations, all of those can be easily avoided by being up to date on vaccinations. Measles is serious and can be very serious, but you can easily be protected against it.
How do you address the skepticism of people? You mentioned that these cases are unvaccinated. How do you address that, the fact that people don't want to get vaccinated?
We acknowledge that there are people in our country that don't want to get vaccinated. I would encourage every parent to just follow the evidence, look at the facts, follow the advice, the strong, overwhelming advice of the medical profession, and I hope that will lead them to the conclusion to get their children vaccinated. I'm thrilled that as the father of 2 sons, that my wife and I got our kids vaccinated, and I would encourage everyone in Louisville to do the same. And we'll post more information. It's on the websites, but we'll post more information about where you can get your kids vaccinated, or people can call my office and we'll provide it.
Do we know how many people are going to be quarantined yet on that?
No, we're beginning the public tracing, the public contact with the tracing today.
And then with the child at like the camper or daycare?
We're not going to get into details about, because it's a juvenile, but this juvenile was, we believe, got it during some international travel. They are back home now when the case became confirmed. All right, now on to the good news that we're incredibly excited to share with the community. JJ, folks in the Parks Department, Jason, you guys want to all come join me? This will also explain why we're talking about the serious topics here at where we are right now. Well, at Louisville Metro government, we're working hard, and we're seeing such great positive momentum in every corner of our city. You can see it, you can feel it, you can play on it in so many neighborhoods across our city. New tennis courts that we're opening today are just another great example of the momentum that we're seeing all across our city, including right here in Southwest Louisville. And thanks to the new city budget that was just passed a couple of weeks ago, we're going to keep seeing this progress, and even faster, right here in Southwest Louisville and all across our city. Some of the things that were in the budget that are going to really keep that momentum going here: a new $3 million South End Development Fund to attract retailers and restaurants and other businesses to the South End. $1 million to help plan and design new gymnasium and pool at the Sun Valley Community Center not too far from here. The new budget also supports more improvements at Iroquois Park and Sylvania Park, planning for a new South End Community Center, the Prairie Village and Valley Sports baseball and softball leagues, support for beautification progress all across Southwest Louisville, street safety improvements, including buying land to have a first responder training facility right here in Southwest Louisville. So I want to thank Councilman Joseph and his other colleagues on Metro Council for supporting my proposed budget, for their amendments, and for their collaboration and partnership on this budget, which is moving Louisville in an exciting new direction. Metro Council has also been an amazing partner of ours in supporting our parks and community centers. And our parks and community centers have been a major focus of mine since my first day as mayor, and will continue to be until my last day as mayor. Because world-class cities have world-class parks. They make our neighborhoods safer, more vibrant, and create a safer, stronger, and healthier city. So with Metro Council support, we directed $10 million over a year ago towards funding our parks when we found some additional money. And each year, our Parks and Recreation budget continues to go up, the direction it should and will keep heading. And the projects that we invest in, they may take time, but my administration got to work early in my first days in office, and now we're seeing these exciting results. It's fitting that right now it's National Parks and Recreational Month around the country, but in Louisville, we need much more than a month to celebrate the progress that we're making here. Because in Louisville, 2025 has been the year of parks and recreation. In the first half of this year alone, we had more openings and ribbon cuttings at our parks than at any 6 month in our city's history. That's around $15 million of projects that have come to life in the first part of this year. We've built, renovated, and added to parks in every corner of our community. Just take here in Southwest Louisville alone, the brand new Nick Rodman Legacy Park that we opened a few weeks ago, a new playground and walking path at Tom Wallace Recreational Area in Jefferson Memorial Forest, new restrooms at Sun Valley Park, a new pavilion at Riverside, and today we're excited to open these gorgeous tennis courts here at the Southwest Government Center on Dixie Highway. And that's just in this part of our city. Throughout the rest of our city, we opened a world-class pool at Algonquin Park, the biggest and best pool our city has. A new pond and boat ramp at Chickasaw Park, new tennis courts at Fern Creek Park, new paths and restrooms at Long Run Park. Playport opened in downtown and waterfront parks, westward expansion. And we're going to keep our foot on the gas pedal when it comes to improving our parks across the city. The new Walnut Street Park is under construction and underway. We're getting ready to open a renovated Baxter Community Center in partnership with Louisville Metro Housing Authority. And next year, another new world-class park is going to open at Camp Taylor, and our planning for the next amazing new stages of Jefferson Memorial Forest, not too far from here, have already begun. We are going to continue to improve that world-class gem, our country's largest municipally owned forest, into a destination for the entire country and for all of our residents to enjoy. So I again want to thank all of the partners that have helped make this happen. From our team at Louisville Metro Parks and Recreation, to our partners on Metro Council, to other supporters all across this city, thank you for helping us make this happen. And now I'd like to introduce two of them who have been critical partners in these great investments. First, let me introduce Councilman Joseph. Councilman Joseph represents some neighborhoods here in Southwest Louisville, has been a strong supporter of getting these tennis courts built right here at the Southwest Government Center, and we're working hard together to improve our parks and bring more businesses to Southwest Louisville. Please join me in welcoming Councilman Joseph.
Thank you. Well, I'll be quick because I know we're all warm out here. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for the investment out here. It's an exciting time for Southwest Louisville. From the budget and where we're headed in the months to come and in the years to come, we're really excited and we're grateful for it. Jason and Parks, we're so grateful. I also want to thank former Councilman Rick Blackwell for his investments in regards to this tennis court and it being a priority for him as well. And we're just so grateful that the investments of the South End, that we're going to be seeing some very soon, as the mayor has given several different examples. We are excited for what's to come in the South End, and we are grateful for a piece like these state-of-the-art tennis facilities. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Councilman. Thank you. Thank you very much, Councilman, and also the team that's working on this every day. Some of them are here with us today. They have an amazing team of hardworking public servants that are working to build these great amenities and then ensure that they stay wonderful, safe, clean, and well used by the entire community. So here to represent Louisville Metro Parks and Recreation today is an individual who has been working hard to bring all of these projects to life. Please join me in welcoming Jason Canuel.
Good morning. My name is Jason Canuel, the director at Louisville Parks and Recreation, and as the mayor said, the foot's on the gas pedal. Well, I'm the foot. We are thrilled to be here today to cut the ribbon on these new tennis courts at the Southwest Government Center. These courts are a fantastic addition to Southwest Louisville. This year has been a remarkable year, and one for the record books, as the mayor had mentioned. I've been with Parks for 15 years, and we've never had the amount of capital funding ever. And it's unprecedented that we can go through $15 million worth of projects. Oh, I'm sorry, $16 million because we cut a ribbon on Sunday. So, Mayor, sorry, we have to up that by $1 million. So we're up to $16 million in a calendar year. That is unbelievable. And none of that would be able to happen without the support from Mayor Greenberg, Deputy Mayor George, and all of Metro Council members. We've got 26 different council members, and all 26 have parks, and they all have different ideas. But we all come together for all of these park improvements, which are, it's for the people. So we're so excited. So some of the other things that the mayor has not mentioned is we've installed free 5G Wi-Fi in 83 of our parks so far. We're hoping to get to the 120 by the end of this year. We've renovated HVAC systems, which nobody sees, everybody takes for granted. But when those go out, you know about it, we hear about it. But when they get fixed, nobody really understands the trouble and the problems and the effort that goes into replacing HVAC systems. I'm sorry. Again, that's about all I have got to mention. Like I said, $16 million in a calendar year. Thank you, Mayor Greenberg. And I do want to send a special shout out to Paul Adams. Back here, he's my assistant director of our engineering and planning division. And our project managers, Wilson Ethington, Spencer Holt, and Jared Ernie back there. Those four guys are responsible for the $16 million worth of projects. It's unbelievable what these gentlemen have been able to do, and it's an honor to work with them every day. So thank you all.
Thanks, Jason. Before we get to our final event, Wilson, Spencer, and Jared, come on up here also. I want you and all of the folks from Parks. Nathan, by the way, here has been working double duty. He was a volunteer at the amazing PGA Tour event that we had last week, the ISCO Championship, another great event in our city, just like Run for the Roses tournament. But I do want to honor all of the Louisville Parks and Recreation teammates. These are just a few of my wonderful colleagues. As we celebrate, again, it's not enough for us here in Louisville, but we are still going to acknowledge and celebrate National Parks and Recreation Month here in Louisville with a record-breaking first part of the year. It's going to only get bigger. Thank you all so much for the amazing work you do for our entire community every day. Thank you, guys. Oh, picture. I'm sorry. You have to stand over here. That's right. Not. Yours in here too. Come on. All right, and finally, and incredibly important, I want to celebrate another incredible Louisvillian before I take some more questions. I want to recognize another one of my amazing colleagues here at Louisville Metro Government. Today I'm joined by Anthony Gore. Anthony is a Metro Safe call taker. Were you working on Sunday, Anthony?
I was working on
Sunday. You were working on Sunday, okay. Sunday was a busy day, as we talked about earlier. But recently, just 2 months into the job for Anthony, he received a call from a father whose wife was delivering a baby. And Anthony relied on the great training that he had received and calmly helped guide the father through the process, helping to bring a new baby boy into our city, into this world. So Anthony, on behalf, and I noticed that you have 4 great children of your own that were here with you earlier today, on behalf of the entire city, thank you so much for what you do. You are such an important part of our team of public safety professionals that keeps Louisville safe, that keeps Louisville healthy, and this is just one great shining example. Congratulations, and thank you so much for your work.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Anthony. All right, we gave you plenty of content for all of your outlets for the remainder of the day, if not week. But with that, I'm happy to take, if you all have questions about any other topics that we haven't yet covered, please ask now.
Mayor Greenberg, I wanted to ask you, we learned that the Corridor Bar in Louisville announced that it's going to close. Have you heard of this? Does this have anything to do with the takeovers in Louisville?
I have not yet heard that information. Again, our team is very focused. Our team of ABC and LMPD, working closely together, has been working hard to ensure that people who are enjoying themselves in New Lou, on Bardstown Road, and any other part of our city are safe. We are ensuring that bars follow the rules. We're enforcing the rules on the street as well. I have not yet heard that, so I don't have a comment on that. Any other questions?
I wanted to ask as well about the request for proposal for an independent monitor. Could you
Yes.
talk about that? What qualities are you looking in whoever's going to fill that position, and your call for people to apply?
So the question was about the RFP that we put out yesterday for the independent monitor. I'm very proud of the community commitment, which is Louisville's consent decree, that we are moving forward with a very detailed document that sets forth how we're going to continue to work with LMPD every day on their reform and improvements. And part of that is engaging an independent monitor to have a third party to validate those improvements that LMPD is making, that they've already made and that they will continue to make in the weeks, months, and years ahead. So we released an RFP yesterday, a call for organizations, individuals to respond that want to be that independent monitor. We had community listening sessions that informed the criteria that we're looking for, the characteristics of what makes for a solid independent monitor. That is all set forth there. We're looking forward to getting the submissions there, and then, in the not too distant future, we'll be making a selection as to who the independent monitor is. It's all set forth online, the information about what we're looking for, as well as the results from the community engagement and listening sessions. Anything else? All right. Thank you all very much. Have a good day.